for those of you who celebrate, happy belated St. Patty's Day. I hope you had a great day yesterday. You know, in addition to having some Irish heritage from my dad's side of the family, March 17th is a special date for me as it's the day that I started dating my now husband. But that was many years ago, and boy, how does time fly. So anyway, speaking of St. Patty's Day, I'd like to begin with a silly little joke I heard the other day. So here goes. Why shouldn't you iron a 4-leaf clover? Any guess? Because you might press your luck. All right, if you think that was super corny, which it was, don't worry or press the pause button on this video because I promise no more stupid jokes like that today, okay? So today I want to talk about people pleasing. I'm guessing we might have some people pleasers out there. You know, when you want to accommodate everyone and you avoid conflict, or you might not say what you're really thinking in order to fit in or be agreeable, or maybe you feel like you have to say yes to everything. Or maybe you apologize for things you didn't even do and take too much responsibility. Sound familiar? It's pretty exhausting after a while because you tend to put others' needs ahead of your own. Good grief. Oftentimes, folks might refer to people pleasers as type A's or overachievers or perfectionists or maybe control freaks. And to be clear, while I am a certified professional coach, I'm not a clinical psychologist, so I don't claim to have all the answers here. But I have read that while there are many different reasons for this kind of people-pleasing behavior, one of the biggest reasons for people-pleasing might be from past trauma. The person may feel an underlying fear that is associated with a childhood trauma or neglect or perhaps a past abusive relationship. Basically, the person may not have felt safe maintaining certain boundaries because he or she learned that it was safer to do what the other people wanted to do rather than taking care of his or her needs first. So if you've had people-pleasing tendencies at all, you're not alone. Let's focus on how to overcome them in this video. So first of all, stop worrying about what others think. As the saying goes, it's their business, or maybe we should call it their busybody business, what they think, not yours. Now, I know it's easier said than done, but if you find you start worrying about what other people think, use that as a trigger to kind of help pivot your thoughts to focusing on your values and goals and what's best for you in your life. And keep in mind, if they're your true friends and really care about you, then they won't act like Judge Judy's towards you, believe me. And I want to remind you of something I said in a previous video, that hurt people hurt people. Keep that in mind when people are judging and let that stuff go. Within the same theme of not worrying about what others think, please don't refrain from sharing your honest opinions and knowledge just for the sake of being nice. People can learn from your insights and experience, and they'll respect you for it to boot. So speak up, really speak up. Next, put yourself first, and I don't mean it in a selfish way. Instead, just like they say in airplanes, if we can remember those flying machines we used to fly in before COVID. Anyway, after you boarded the plane and got all buckled in, the flight attendants would say, in the event of a drop in cabin pressure, an oxygen mask will drop down. Put on your oxygen mask first before assisting others. You remember that. Isn't that a great metaphor for life? I mean, you can't really give what you don't already have, right? Or if you do, then you'll just end up feeling depleted and resentful, believe me. Now, when you're knee-jerk scrambling to help someone, ask yourself, am I doing this out of compassion or compulsion, or just habit? In other words, is this out of kindness or to avoid conflict or obligation? If you find you're doing it purely out of kindness and compassion, and you're making sure that your needs are met first, then by all means do it. But if you find that you're feeling obligated or doing it to avoid conflict or for the way you look, then perhaps you shouldn't do it. And if you're worried about how you deliver kind of the dreaded no, just remember that your delivery can be pleasant without being a people pleaser. And sometimes the no is actually better for the person asking, as people pleasers can tend to also be enablers of folks that may be too dependent. Oh, and by the way, don't be afraid to be the one asking for help and be open to receiving when help is provided. So to summarize, be kind to you first. Speak up, stop apologizing so much, say no when it doesn't feel right, and ask for help and be willing to receive it. You'll feel so much better. Well, that's all for this week. Remember to tune in next Thursday. Thank you for listening. I wish you peace, love, and joy. And as always, keep the faith, put your needs first, and let your light shine.